Hi, my name is Sharon and I live with borderline personality disorder. I was somebody with one of the worst cases I've ever been in contact with, and I really love my life. I have wonderful friends, wonderful relationships. I have a very happy marriage. You can get better. You put in the work, you will get better. So I actually absorbed the word crazy. I think it has so many connotations these days, and one of them is insinuating fun. I believe very strongly that everybody has some sense of mental illness, and if you look at it as mental illness, it hurts more than to say I'm a little crazy. I know I'm crazy, and I knew I was born different. And when I was old enough to have friends that were my own age, I realized that I was different than them. A very simple example is going to an amusement park. All the kids are having fun and wanting to go on the rides, and I was afraid of everything, including men with beards and Santa Claus. I am extraordinarily sensitive in my nervous system. So things like people chewing gum near me make me want to rip my skin off. Just like that noise can make me want to rip my skin off, music can move me so deeply that it's wonderful. And I wouldn't necessarily have chosen to live this kind of life. There's a lot of really amazing aspects to having this condition. I can oftentimes know what people around me are feeling by observing very small aspects of their body language. As long as it's not directed at me, I'm almost always spot on. I can see two people who are in love from across the room, or a couple who's about to break up from just interacting and having dinner with them. I'm so lucky that what looks like were my hobbies are my way of gaining income. So writing and performing and speaking are how I work. I perform regularly in nightclubs in New York City with other comedians. Interesting things about how I grew up was I was not allowed to stand up for myself using any verbal things, so I never developed that skill. I'm from a pretty tough town. I know how to fight physically, but that's not something adults are supposed to ever do. So in just general workplace bullying, I have no idea how to handle it. For years of my life, I would not stand up for myself because I would feel guilty for it, and I would feel like punishment was coming. And that's not the case now. I'm just baffled by it and I don't know what to do. So oftentimes I'll go to the club, I'll have a great set, I'll be super happy, and then somebody who I may or may not be friends with will say a couple of things to me, and I'll just feel like my knees are cut out from under me, and I'll end up crying my way home on the subway. Is of annihilation. My biggest fear is that when this life is over, there's nothing left to us. It's easier to find a boyfriend than a therapist in New York if you have borderline, and that's really sad. So I make it my business to be out and make sure that everybody knows that I have it, so that they don't automatically go to, oh, people with borderline are going to stalk me, or they're going to physically abuse me, they're going to scream at me. They can have a reference point. Oh, having borderline is just an intense sensitivity, very emotional person maybe. Or so if you're watching this and you're like, my crazy ex-girlfriend who wouldn't go away had borderline, I think you may be simplifying it. You don't know if someone has it based on how they act, and the diagnosis itself only has value in getting people into the correct treatment. So I try, I'm a comic, so I try not to be sensitive to jokes, whether it comes from a stranger or anyone. If the joke's not funny, it's offensive. And if it's funny, it's not offensive. Like, it doesn't matter how wrong the joke is. If it is actually funny, then it's a joke and it's not offensive. But if it's just a statement like, oh, don't trust Sharon, she's just crazy, like that's not a joke. That's just devaluing my opinion because I have a mental illness. But if it's funny, who am I to say? Make fun of me, go for it. I spent most of my life having been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and going through the kinds of therapy like EMDR, where they have you relive traumatic experiences. That made me worse. DBT made me better. If you are in therapy for more than a year and you're not getting better, it's probably the wrong treatment for you. Don't buy into it takes a long time. Otherwise, it's like going to a chiropractor who's clicking you in the wrong direction. So if you are living with borderline traits and you're struggling, know that you're not alone. You are not alone. It is way more common than you realize. I was somebody with one of the worst cases I've ever been in contact with, and I really love my life. I have wonderful friends, wonderful relationships. I have a very happy marriage. You can get better. You put in the work, you will get better.
Thank you for watching this interview. For the full version, visit our website. And in the meantime, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and share it with anyone who could benefit from it. Have a beautiful day.